Hey there, gorgeous ones. What do you desire? What in your life do you desire? How is that showing up for you? Is there just like deep, deep longing? Longing? Is it showing up as like hope? Are you hopeful and it's painful? Or what do you desire? I see you there. I would so love to know what you desire. What it is that really, really you desire. Desire can feel good, or desire can feel painful, like there's something like missing, like I had such insight this morning in my practice. I was doing a self-pleasure practice and I was breathing in through my heart and doing a lot with the heart at the moment, and all of this memories started coming, all of these like pain, all these times when I've been in such need with my desire. When I remember what started coming for me today was memories of when I was single, and I was longing for a partner, and every person I would meet, I had such hope that it was like them, they were it. And underneath that hope was this fear that like that it was, time was running out, that this fear that when was it going to happen to me, and all this like fear. And so each time in every meeting I was bringing all of this like, and it was making me act in some pretty crazy ways. Like really, when I look back, I think, shit, Nina, that wasn't good. It was really not good. And sometimes it hurt other people because I was so like, this person is gonna be it. The longing was so strong, and it wasn't until I started to vision what it was that I actually desired, and started to really like paint this picture for myself of this life where I was living and this partner that was in it, and started to really like focus more on that, and started to just to enjoy life and myself and my own development and my own following my own bliss, that this pain could shift from being like hope. And then, you know, the unspoken was like the fear underneath. I mean, I had no idea that this fear was like running everything, this fear that time was running out, this fear all the time. And this is not new concepts. This is like Buddhist concepts, hope and fear, the hell we create here on earth. And it shows up all the time. It shows up all the time in life, and it shows up a lot in relationship. It shows up a lot in the longings that we have. I would ask you now just to like take a moment and think, like, where in my life am I putting the energy of this like hope, which is so like underneath it is fear. Underneath hope is fear, but underneath desire, I mean, feel into those words. When you think about desire is like it's already here. Desire is like, oh God, that feels so good. I desire, I can enjoy it, I can imagine it, I can be in it, I can experience it. And it's such a different feeling, and to be able to like fill yourself up first so that this desire can just be there but feeling really, really good. So there's different ways that we can fill ourselves up. And of course I'm going to tell you, hey there, people showing up now. So of course I'm going to tell you the ways that I think you should fill yourself up, and the ways that you can shift from being in like hope and fear and move into more a sense of like it's already here, and and to allow yourself to have desires. So a really key part is like knowing what you want. So you have to know what you want in order to call it in. That's just one of the keys. And one of the most powerful keys that you have available to you is your pleasure. Because when you come into a state of pleasure in your body, then everything good, all that you desire, can flow towards you. And I'm going to tell you a little story now. I'm going to tell you a story about this house that I'm in. So this house is here as my home because of the power that I activated of desire and pussy. Now, oh well, here we go. I probably shouldn't share this one, like broadcast it on the internet, but why not? Why not? We must share the power that is available to all, so all can share in it. So I visioned this home. I spent, Sam and I, we moved to New Zealand, my partner and I, and we couldn't find anywhere to live. It was really like horrible. We were like fighting. We weren't enjoying being here, and we had this like 3-month contract on a home, and that was it. And we started going to auctions and putting in offers on houses to buy somewhere. And Wanaka, where we live, is crazy, and it was just this explosion of people wanting a home. And it's still like that here, actually. And we'd moved all the way from the UK, so it was this huge life move. And got to the point where it was felt quite desperate. We'd put in an offer and go to an auction, and it was like, really? I thought this was going to be our home. Like, you're kidding me? Really? Again? And then I had visioned this. I had this vision that I wrote out and I recorded, and every morning and every night I listened to it. And in this vision, it was, I live in this beautiful home with greenery all around, and there's birds singing outside my window, and I have this amazing space for my spiritual practice and yoga with these big windows with this view. And I felt into this every day. I felt into this every morning, every night, and it was a really joyful vision of like, I'm so happy and grateful this morning because I live in this beautiful home. And then this home came on to the sale, and it's so beautiful and like wooden and green and different to houses in Wanaka, which are like steel and glass and new build. And this one is like this beautiful retreat cabin, a place where you can go and be peaceful. And I really wanted this home. So I'd been reading this book called Pussy. It's called Pussy. It's a great book. It's a great book to read in public if you want to get some conversations started. And in this book, she talks about all of the history of the power of the pussy, all these cultures where there's celebrations, like in Japan every year, this celebration where pussy is flashed and the world comes alive. It's this whole mythological story about the end of the world and how pussy brought the goddesses and gods back to life, brought the world back to life. And anyway, there's stories like this all around the world. So I read this book and I was like, okay, it's time for some special magic. It's time for some magic. I'm going to make this happen. This is our house. I feel it. It's our house. So as we come up the driveway to the auction, there's an auction sign in the driveway, and we're arriving at the house. And so I look around. I'm like, okay, is anyone around? And I weared a skirt with no knickers and I flash at the auction sign, and then we go up in the driveway and all this excitement is in my body, you know, this exciting moment, feeling so naughty and so radical. And we're standing in the garden of the house with the auction, and we're all rammed together in the garden. There's like tons of people there, all really wanting this house. And it gets to the point where there's just us, my partner and I, and another couple bidding, and they just don't stop bidding. Like each time we bid, they put on more money, and wow, it's getting really, really exciting and really nervous. So I start to just like breathe down, breathe into my genitals, just calling upon the gods and goddesses, calling upon, you know, everything to support me here and let this power within me win this home for us. And so I keep breathing. She bids again. I'm like, breathe into pussy. I can't believe I'm telling you this story. And we won. We won. So this is the house that pussy provided. And I tell you what, there's a lot of magic that can be provided from this power within you. Your sexuality is like this pure, like life force energy, and anything that you desire can be created, but it's about coming from a space of like feeling it and being in pleasure with it, not in a place of like hope, which is like so gut-wrenching. And I talk about this loads with my clients because in relationship, a lot of the time there can be a lot of like hope and like feelings of like not being met and all sorts of things coming up. And if we can fill ourselves up first, so create abundance of pleasure and joy in our own bodies, then we can, you can see this is on my sofa here, a little bit greenery outside the window, then we can come from a space of enoughness. And it's so much easier to meet each other in that place than it is in a place of like, oh, hope, I really want this, especially when it's around sex and like one partner wants it and the other doesn't. That's such a huge common dynamic in relationship, and it arises and it stays because of the feeling of like hope, which underneath it has a fear of like, fear of something, maybe that you're afraid that the relationship isn't working, or there's this fear. And so there's this, like when anything is coming from that place, it always results in more pain instead of more joy. So give yourself a lot of pleasure, vision what you want, and bring that into your life in the most joyful way. And in case you haven't hung out with me on here before, my name's Nina. I'm a guide for women into their erotic selves, into their pleasure. And my magic that I create with people is, I'm like this catalyst, I catalyze existence in people's lives. They jump into this cauldron, and you know, where you're like in a science lab and you add this ingredient, and all of a sudden a whole new molecule is formed. Well, that's what happens when you jump into the space with me. I like catalyze in your life. So if you want some of that magic and you feel drawn to have a guide, I know that some of you here would be drawn to have somebody guide you into something more magical in your life. It's totally normal to work with people and to support each other. That's what I feel like I do. It's like this. It's just straight up women's work. This is what we would do for each other. We would be there and guide and support and grow and be these like magical ingredients for each other in our lives. So send me a message. I would love to start a conversation with you if you feel ready for having someone guide you and creating some magic. So much love.